I'm here with Dr. Anna Marie Frank, owner of Happy Whole You, and we're talking about mindful habits to incorporate this new year. So Anna, you say the best way to do this is the add-in method, which I fully support because I hate when people make those New Year's resolutions and you're taking away things from your life. This is a great way to do that.
Absolutely. Adding in versus taking away is going to really help our brains because we're more likely to stick with something when we get that dopamine hit. So if you're focused on what you can't do or what you can't eat, that is going to backfire on you. And about 44% of people who make New Year's resolutions, only 50% of them actually follow through with it.
Wow, 50%. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things that we can do. Adding a new habit. Do we add one a week? Do we pick one that we try to stick to? Like, what should we, where do you start?
Yeah, it's going to be personal preference, but at Happy Whole You, we actually have this thing called the add-in calendar, where every single week out of the year, we add something very small. So the key is to add something small, change your environment, and build habits on top of other habits. So for example, I know you want to drink more water for the new year, right? So one of the things you want to make sure you do is in your environment, always have a water bottle. And that's going to be really helpful. Be very specific of when you're going to drink. If you drink coffee in the morning, say week 1, you drink a big glass of water before your coffee.
Oh,
and then week 2, maybe before you have your lunch or your dinner, you just have 4 ounces, right? We're making it very small. And so week 1, now you're adding water first thing in the morning. Week 2, you're adding 4 ounces before each meal. Week 3, maybe you want to add in some fruit. So you have a fruit bowl on your counter. You want to change your environment to make it to where it's easier to access these habits. So adding less friction where appropriate, but then adding more friction where appropriate as well.
Yeah, that's great. It's great to have that kind of mindfulness that if it's in front of you, you're going to do it. So having the water bottle, having the fruits.
Yes, absolutely.
What are some other things? I see you have books and, you know, do you find people want to read more or relax more? Like, what are people looking to add?
Yeah, so the best thing about the add-in method is we're not just focused on one thing. We're looking at all areas of our life. So reading, and if you say, oh, I want to read 12 books out of the year, that's a great goal, but why don't you start with 2 pages a day? Or 10 minutes a day of reading and make it more in bite sizes so you'll do it over time. It can take anywhere from 18 days to over 200 days to create a new habit.
Wow,
yes.
18 days, okay.
So we have to be consistent with what we are doing.
Okay, so I like what you said, bite size, so you don't feel overwhelmed.
Correct. Yeah, you want to have, and plus your brain gets rewarded. So for example, one of my things is I'm going to do 1 mile every day of either walking or jogging. It can be whatever, but it's 1 mile. And so I'm going to set my timer, set my watch, and then I'm also setting my closeout and my tennis shoes first thing in the morning. Not to mention, I got an alarm clock for Christmas and it's going in the bathroom. Oh. So I'm changing my environment. So I'm not hitting my snooze button. I have to get up and turn off the alarm. My clothes are already there. My environment is saying it's inviting, and it's just a great reminder. So those are just some things that we can do.
Those are some really great tips. It's already there. You're already up, so you might as well do it.
Yeah, and if anyone wants the add-in method calendar, they can just email info@happywholeyou and we'll send it to you. So by the end of the year, you have over 50 new habits.
And are they already preset, or do people
No, they
need to
just
fill
write
it
them
out?
in. So I always say put it next to, you know, where you get ready in the morning, or put it on your refrigerator, and every week just add something in, and so you continue the things you've done from the week before, but you just keep adding to it. And hey, if you mess up week 6 and you're like, oh, I'm not doing what I put down week 3, go back from week 3 and put it in week 6 as well. So it's just all about creating that consistency.
Right, and seeing it in front of you and being mindful that this is something that you've set, a goal you've set, you see it every day.
Absolutely.
That's great. Thank you so much for joining us and for making us more mindful about what we can add to our lives.
Yes, thank you.
In the new year.